So, I want to talk about how I just broke out of a demonic spell or curse. I don't know what it was, but so a little backstory. I have been scared of my parents because I had a panic attack around them 10 years ago. So there's been this demon of fear, panic attack, panic anxiety around me, okay, just hovering over me and so forth. So my parents were going to come visit me in Texas. This was in July for my 50th birthday, and my dad just turned 80, so it was going to be a huge event, and I just fantasized how it was going to be magical, and I really wanted to be successful before I saw him make $1 million. That didn't happen. That's fine. But the night before my girlfriend and I left to go see them, an hour away in Galveston, um, we I was doing a lot of spiritual work. I was listening to a worship song on YouTube. It's an hour and a half long, and after that, I did a cleansing. This guy does demonic removal. It's a YouTube audio, and it's 8 minutes, and he calls out all the demons, brings in all the archangels, and so forth. So after I watched that or listened to that worship for an hour and a half, and then I listened to that 8 minute demonic cleansing, something happened. Like everything lifted off of me, and I literally smelled this sweet fragrance in not only our room, but when I went outside to look at the stars, I could smell it out there. Just I had heightened senses, and I could smell the sweet fragrance of angels because I've smelled them before. So this was in July, right before I saw my parents, and my girlfriend and I noticed that I had this sense of peace that I'd never had in my entire life. I really felt like um, there was nothing wrong with me. And they say that Jesus is the Prince of Peace, and it just washed over me. And it felt like I was almost groggy, and my voice was very low, and I was moving slow. But that's how normal people are, because I am normally in fight or flight. My whole life I've been in fight or flight. So this new sense of peace was I've never felt it before. My girlfriend had never seen me that way. But so we went to Galveston and we stayed in a hotel and had a great time with my parents. It was magical. I never got nervous once, which is very rare because I have social anxiety usually. It went over awesome. But the last day we were there, or the two last nights I was there, I we slept in separate beds, my girlfriend and I played with myself. Okay? It's just something I've done my whole life. And guess what? All the demons came back. It says in the Bible, after you clean your house, but then if you sin again, the demons come back and they invite seven of their friends. So when we got back here to our hometown, I was different. I didn't want to pray. I just wanted to be left alone in a dark room and just listen to my heavy metal. And that happened and I didn't know what I was doing, and I was fapping. I was eating junk food and fapping. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Basically playing with yourself. And just in a really dark space, and I wanted to be left alone in the dark listening to this music. And so this went on for 5 months. I didn't pray. I didn't want to I didn't want to watch any worship videos. I just wanted to listen to my music and rock back and forth because I have autism, so I rock back and forth. And just yesterday, I I I was listening to I I prayed. I prayed for the first time, and I was like, "Please God, just remove this darkness. I don't know what's wrong with me." And I laid down to do some hypnosis, and because I had a huge fight with my girlfriend, I laid down to listen to hypnosis. She was in the other room. We were going to break up. because I freaked out on her the night before about finances. And even though we keep our finances separate, we were gonna go to Dallas and go in halves on it. And I freaked out on her. I was like, "What are you doing to make this money? It's only 3 weeks away." And I said, "Your dad's gonna bail you out again." And I really hurt her, and she left the room. So the next day, I'm listening to the hypnosis, and it felt like I went to hell, because when I listen to hypnosis, all my defenses are down, and I feel like a little child again. And it felt cold, like there was no love there. And she was gone. My girlfriend was gone. I was alone. I was in hell, and there was nothing there. It was void of any good feelings. I came out of that hypnosis, and I was freaked out, and I started to cry. And crying is basically repenting. And I read this other guy, Peter Tucker, in his CPTSD book, saying that tears are very cleansing and very good for you in therapy. And I hadn't cried like that for years. I just started bawling. And then my girlfriend sensed it. She was in the other room. She came in, even though we were going to break up. She came in, and I begged her. I said, and I just hugged her, and I broke down crying. And all that crying, it like removed this film from my eyes, like this darkness left. And I felt clarity, and I felt this purity again. I felt this optimism. I felt like God was back in my life, but it also gave me this, like my life was back. And then I realized I had been living under this demonic hypnosis curse, like this shroud over me, like dark glasses, dark film over my eyes. I just wanted to rock in a dark room and listen to heavy metal for 5 months, and crying and praying and asking God for forgiveness and crying. It opened up my eyes again. And it says in the Bible, have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And it was like I got my senses back. And I never want to go back to that hell. And that's where people are going if they don't turn to Jesus. I mean, this world is getting darker and darker. It's getting crazier and crazier. People are like doing anything they can to feel good. They're cheating on each other. They're doing drugs, alcohol, they're eating, they're overeating. And I was guilty of that. I'm still rocking. I mean, I'm autistic. That's what I do. But I have this clarity. It was like I came back. But little do people know that they're under a demonic curse or spell. When they're cheating and drinking and doing crazy stuff, they're under a demonic spell. And to them, they think it's cool. They're like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm life in the fast lane. I'm cheating on my girl. No one knows. Ha ha ha. I'm getting away with murder." I used to think that way. But now I'm like, that's so sad. And everyone that is living that way is just deceived, and they're crying out, and they're in pain, and they're looking for fast times, And of course it doesn't pay in the long run. And once you have that shroud removed by crying, just having a good cry, a purge, and praying to God to forgive you, it wipes all that dark crap away. The demons leave. They're bored with you now because you've been purified. They'll try to get back in. Like when I was in Galveston, they came back in tenfold. And it took me 5 months to realize that there is a dark curse over me. And now I'm back. And now I do want to pray. And now I do want to, chant and worship Jesus every night. Whereas just a few days ago, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not listening to worship. I'm going to listen to my heavy metal and eat sugar and rock 14 hours a day. But now I'm like, the life is back in my eyes. And I feel like the demonic's entrapment that I was in is gone. It's lifted. So guys, it's never too late to repent and just stop. Stop doing your stuff and just kneel down and say, Jesus, please forgive me and come back into my life. Please let me purge this out. Remove the demons, expel them back to hell by the authority of Jesus Christ. Get them out of me. Bind and loose all the demons in my life and all the people around me and in my house. Send them back to the hell where they belong. And just cry. It's okay. Real men cry. The ones who don't cry are the ones that are cowardly. They're like, men don't cry. My dad taught me that. Men don't cry. That's BS. It's the other way around. Real men cry. All right? And they hug other men. And they're strong. They're bears. Okay? I'm a bear. I'm getting the bear beard. All right. Anyways, I love you guys. It's been a while, so hit the subscribe button. I'll try to come back to this channel more and more. But Jesus is back, and I feel happy and optimistic. I shaved off a few years of darkness with this last purge, and it felt so good to cry. Because when you're in hell, I heard that when you're in hell, you can't cry, you can't laugh, you can't even sneeze. You get right to that point, and then it goes away. It's torment. There is no release. There's no relief or release. Your throat is dry. You can't swallow saliva. You can't have tears because you're in a hot sulfur. And there's no pleasure. So even sneezing is forbidden there. Or sneezing, laughing, crying, purging. So be thankful that you can cry tears right now. Because in hell, you're just a dried out void getting tormented endlessly forever. It really is real. Might not be, a hell with fire, but it could be. Why even chance that? I don't want to chance it. It's pretty freaking scary from what I've seen. So, God bless you. It's never too late. And I wish you all the best. And watch my other videos. Maybe something will resonate with you.